Hey guys, I'm Parth.
And I'm Chinmay.
And we'd like to welcome you to BioCast, a podcast where we'll be discussing current biological research, the future of the field, and how it impacts our everyday lives.
So first, a little bit about us. We're both undergraduate students at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and are passionate about biology and research. Parth here is a neuroscience major, and I'm majoring in biomedical engineering with a minor in data science.
Yeah, so just to discuss a little bit about why we decided to start this podcast, as Chinmay said, we're both heavily interested in biology, and we wanted to discover and share what all is actively happening in the field. So we were thinking, and an idea just hit us. Why not start a podcast? It's an efficient way to aggregate a lot of our knowledge in one place, and it gave us a really good reason to put ourselves out there and, push ourselves to learn more about the field, while also giving others the opportunity to educate themselves on current happenings.
So, what can you expect out of this podcast? Well, we can't really speak for the upload schedule, as we'll be pretty busy with classes and such during the school year, but we'll have frequent updates on our blog, which you can check out at biocast.co. Once again, that's biocast.co. As well as regular guests that can speak to recent research in their fields of expertise.
Yeah, we'll be discussing topics ranging from science communication to cancer. And of course, we're open to hearing from you listening at home about topics you want to hear us talk about.
So, Parth, we've talked a lot about, what got us interested in creating the podcast, but what really sucked you into biology? What do you find so fascinating about, the subject that we're sitting here right now talking about it?
Yeah, so I've always been a science kid in general, just, wanting to know how the world around me works and stuff like that. But I'd say I really got engrossed in the subject when I saw an article online that Biogen was developing a drug for Alzheimer's. I think it's called Leqembi.
Hold on.
So, yeah.
Sorry, don't mean to interject or anything, but I was just going to ask you...
Yeah, no, you're good.
About Biogen, for viewers at home that may not understand.
Yeah, so Biogen is a biopharmaceutical and biotech company. It's a really big company here in the Triangle. So yeah, I don't know if you remember, but just 10-15 years ago there was nothing at all for Alzheimer's treatment, and Biogen actually had to go numerous approval processes to get the drug approved. But it was really the first medicine that we saw that was actually able to slow down the progression of Alzheimer's.
Wow.
And yeah, really wow. I don't know, it was a real wild moment for me too. I actually understood the importance of the progression of biology for the first time and how much potential it has to save and better lives. And on the flip side with the whole pandemic, COVID really showed me the other end in terms of what happens in a case where we're not really prepared enough for a biological onslaught. So it all ended up being okay. Thankfully, Moderna, Pfizer, and J&J were able to come out with vaccines in time. But even then, I remember checking the worldometer on a daily basis, and just in the US alone, there were over 1,000 deaths a day. So yeah, I guess just seeing both the potential and the necessity for the advancement of biology over the past years really sold me on the field and just made me love it. Sorry, I've been rambling a little bit. What about you, Chinmay? What got you into biology?
No, you're good. That's awesome, honestly. That's really cool. I've also been super invested in the sciences in general, but I think the moment I truly fell in love with biology was around, I'd say, my freshman year of high school, where we were discussing eugenics and the advent of, CRISPR technology and all that. Now, we discussed, designer babies and that kind of stuff at the dinner table sometimes, but I don't know. I think the actual idea of it really sunk into my mind when I learned about the concepts as a whole in school, honors biology, whatever.
Yeah.
And the idea of being able to select how intelligent or how strong your children are, or how well set up they are for their lives. I'm not sure if, any of the viewers here have seen Gattaca. Fantastic movie, by the way. Highly recommend you check it out if you haven't seen it already. But seeing the different genetic techniques and genetically enhanced humans created in labs that were treated much better than regular humans that they described in the movie as quote unquote invalids and were treated very inferior to them. Just also as well as to the extent we could take this technology, I just thought all of it was incredible, mind-blowing content. And also that same year we heard about the scientist in China. Some of you guys may know him, Ha Jiankui.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one who edited the human embryos and changed like their entire genetic structures with CRISPR. And while that procedure was extremely unethical, and it's for the best, that they took it all his experimental stuff away and jailed him and all that. And like it was just an abhorrent disregard to life as a whole, playing God as humans. I think in a kind of morbid sense, I found it interesting how crazy accessible this technology and research was, and how soon the future might actually be here, the dystopian future. And I think that was the nail in the coffin for me in terms of biology.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, interesting you bring up like the ethicality of his experiments. Yeah, bioethics is a topic we'll definitely have to dedicate its own episode to, along with what you mentioned about like designer genes and designer babies with like Henrietta Lacks and everyone. But yeah, that's really awesome. I'm definitely really looking forward to finding out what else is going on in current research fields with you.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Parth. Thanks to you, the listeners as well, for your time and listening to our introduction, and we can't wait to see you next time.
Yeah, so this was just meant to be a short introductory episode. We'll have longer episodes with much more concrete topics for the future. So with that, thanks for listening, everyone. See you next time on BioCast.